Good morning, y'all. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. So while I'm talking, these are pictures from the trip going on behind me, so you can look up there. So yeah, this is a long-awaited update on the mission trip I went on. It was December 2nd to the 6th, and we went to Rising Tide Ranch in Oceanside, California. First off, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who partnered with me, everyone who supported me, talked to me about the trip, told me like, oh, California's going to be great. You got to look for this, this, and this. Like, thank you guys so much for being a part of my church family and for supporting me in all that I do. I probably wouldn't have wanted to go as much if I hadn't have been brought up in a place like College Place. And then second, I wanted to tell you about what we did. So we got there and we kind of toured the ranch. It's not as much. It's not like a farm like you would think, because it's in California, like it's in the city. And so we got to see the men's houses. It was a men's sobriety ranch, which you're probably thinking like, Grace, why are you going there? But it was good, I promise. Like everything was great. So there's two main houses and then some tiny homes and a trailer. And so while we were there, we were staying in the greenhouse, which is off to the side, but we got to see the men like in their daily routines, which was really cool. One of them, his name was Daniel. He was really sweet. He made us breakfast every morning. He insisted on it. We're like, Daniel, we're good. And he's like, no, you need more eggs? I'll get you some more. And then he'd come out of the trailer with more eggs. So that was cool, just seeing the guys sitting around the campfire in the morning and at night. We got to hear their testimonies. That was really special. And then some of the work we did, we built a mini ramp for the men. Oh, that's not the mini ramp. But we built a mini ramp for them to skate on. It was something that had been donated in a bunch of pieces. And so while we were there for about a week, and that was the big project. So every morning, all the guys would work on the mini ramp. And by the last day, we were actually able to skate on it. Not me, because I don't skate, but everyone else got to skate on it. That was really cool. We also helped out on the farm. They have animals, a pig, 2 goats, and a bunch of chickens. And that was really cool. There's a picture of them up here somewhere. We helped out with that. We got to help out with a volunteer day, kind of like the chapel does Love Brunswick Day. I don't know if that's I think that's just the chapel, where they'll send groups of volunteers out to different places in the community. They do something like that in Oceanside. And so we were there to help out the ranch, but then when all these other volunteers came in, we were helping direct them and show them what to do, which was really neat. We got to help lead people, not just be led. So on that day, I helped with rock painting. Yes, which is totally up my alley. So we had a table spread out, and ideally it was going to be for the kids, but there were no kids. So we just had a bunch of adults come and paint rocks, and then they have a rock garden just to put Bible verses and encouraging things on for the men. We also got to paint signs. That was my favorite part of the whole trip. On the first night, Buck, the director, he was like, is anyone in the group artistic? And my hand slowly went up, and I said, me, pick me. And so he said, well, we need some signs painted for around the ranch. Scripture said, as the men are walking around, they read it and it'll stir them up. And so I kind of made it my mission to see that through. One of them, there's a picture of us hanging it. I don't know where it is in the slideshow. But Doug, our director, when we were sitting around the fire pit, he was like, there's this branch right up there, and it would be so cool if there was a verse hanging, a sign with a verse, saying, but seek first the kingdom and his righteousness. He's like, that would be so neat. Yeah, there's us hanging it. And so once I started on the sign project, I was like, that's the one I want to get done. And so we did, and that was really neat, because then on the last night, we looked up, and that vision he had at the beginning of the trip was actually, it happened. We got to see it, and then we got to leave knowing that that's something that'll stay there forever, unless it falls down, but I think I hung it up good. Yeah. We helped with homeless outreach, which was really interesting because I've never done that before. Walking around, not really downtown Oceanside. It was along the boardwalk, the pier, the beach near the pier. So that was really cool. We got to go to this guy's house, Bob Burnquist. and he's like a pro skater. I had no idea who he was until I got to his house. But he has this thing called a mega ramp, which is huge. That. And you can see it's huge. And like I've heard like skaters from all over the world want to go there and skate this thing. And somehow like me, Grace from Brunswick, Georgia, got to go see it. And that's a huge blessing. Really unique experience. And then we got to surf. I don't really know how to surf, but I tried and I made it out. And so that was a blessing as well. But yeah, I'm really glad I went. I'm glad that I get to tell y'all about it, even though it's kind of late. Sorry about that. If anyone is interested in a more like detailed story, like want to see more pictures or anything like that, I'm going to be sending out a newsletter, hopefully this evening, but I've been saying that for a while, so hopefully this evening. And if I haven't already got your email, just like find me. I'm around a lot after the service, and get me your email, and I can make sure that that gets sent out to you. And also, if you just want to talk about it, I'm happy to talk about it. I like to talk. But, yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed the pictures, and thank you guys for supporting me.